Hey everybody, KC here. So you do this long enough and eventually you see the same stories come round and round and round again. And this is exactly sort of the way I felt this morning as I was reading a piece in the Wall Street Journal about private label. And here's what the story said. Ask most consumers about retailers' store brands, and no doubt a handful of similar adjectives come to mind. Plain, boring, mediocre, inexpensive. But now many of the nation's biggest retailers, including Target, CVS, Whole Foods, and ShopRite, are out to change that image. They're seeking to accomplish a delicate balancing act, projecting upscale charm and a healthier lifestyle while keeping the budget-friendly prices. Sometimes it's a question of the name, sometimes it's the packaging. Sometimes it's the quality of the product, and sometimes it's a combination of all three. For these retailers, the goal is to create a product line that looks, feels, tastes, and smells premium while undercutting on price because they aren't stuck with the fat advertising costs of the major labels. Now, I gotta be honest, I feel like I've read this story 1,000 times. I mean, private label is always all over the map. Sometimes they're going for the budget numbers. Sometimes they're looking for things that are mimicking national brands. Sometimes, in rare cases, they actually will charge more than national brands. I'll never forget going to a Costco and seeing the Kirkland tuna fish actually costing more than the national brand tuna fish. And when you ask the Costco people about that, they'd say, well, ours is better. And so, there's different ways to approach private label. I do think in some ways, though, and there's no question that private label continues to be really successful. I mean, last year, product sales were up 11.8%, according to Nielsen and the Private Label Manufacturers Association, while unit sales were up 7.2%. But I think they're actually missing an opportunity, some retailers in the private label area. And the retailer I always think of in this regard is Dorothy Lane Market in Dayton, Ohio. One of the nation's great food retailers. I mean, one of the world's great food retailers. And one of the things that they are able to do with a lot of their private label products is make them available to people who have either heard of them from people who live in Dayton, Ohio, or to people who have moved out of Dayton, Ohio, or just know Dorothy Lane by its reputation. Now listen, I've never lived in Dayton, but I know from my experiences that they make this amazing grilling rub that we use on hamburgers, we use on steaks. And I ordered like this, I have boxes of this stuff because we use so much of it. And I've never tasted a better product in this category than what Dorothy Lane makes, and it's their own brand. So I order it all the time. The same goes for their killer brownies, right? I mean, their killer brownies are known throughout the country. And in some cases, they're actually selling their killer brownies through other retailers. But they've also got a healthy online and catalog business that allows them to sell their wares to people who are no longer in the Dayton area. And that is a great opportunity, it seems, for retailers who are interested in private label and interested in growing it. If you have products that really are differentiated, okay, and that are really quality, you can sell them to people who no longer live in that area, but may, feel sort of nostalgic about the products that you make. That's one of the great things that online ordering and the easy ability to ship things all over the country, all over the world, that's one of the things that allows you to do. But it means focusing on quality in the same way that Dorothy Lane does. It's not just being different, and it's certainly not about being cheap, in my view. It's about having products that stand out, that say, oh, we're better than everybody else. To me, that's the kind of private label that resonates in my mind. Products that actually make you think to yourself, ooh, I've got to go and get what they have, even if I don't live there or don't live there anymore. Dorothy Lane Market, killer brownies, their grilling rub, and so many of the other products that they have. It's a great example of marketing 101 in a new e-commerce driven world. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.